Okay, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece Chapter 889, the last chapter of 2017, and I had to bring you guys this chapter while the hypeness was still fresh in my fucking mind. And, so I'm just gonna jump right into the hypeness of what I just saw. I mean, it was the last chapter of the year, so I expected Oda to go out on a bang. But really, Oda, you give us the epicness of a cliffhanger like that? The Straw Hats facing down Big Mom on their own ship. The level of what the fuck I'm feeling right now is past the ceiling of hype. And the way Oda designed Big Mom's new battle form, I guess you could call it, makes it even more insane. I mean, she's got Napoleon's sword in one hand, Prometheus literally lighting and infused in Big Mom's hair, literally lighting Big Mom's hair on fire and just infusing himself in her hair, which I'm sure, despite how stupid that sounds, is going to have some insane battle applications. And I'm sure Zeus will be in the background providing support with his lightning bolts. Okay. Two questions. What the fuck, Oda? And when's the cake getting here again? Seriously, the Straw Hats are in such a are in such a fucking shitstorm of trouble right now. No, shitstorm, fuckstorm, I don't know, shitstorm, fuckstorm, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, getting, I'm like, oh god, yeah, seriously, when's that cake getting here again? They fucking need that cake, they need it now, holy shit, yeah, all in all, even just the design of Big Mom's new battle form is insane, honestly, Big Mom's, the way Oda designed Big Mom in this chapter with her battle form, it's one of my it's at the top. It's at my top favorite. It's at my top favorite things to come out of One Piece this year. Right up there with Carrot's transformation. Honestly, yeah, Oda, you. This is why I love Oda. When the man when the man chooses to go, the man has the mentality of go big or go home. And in this case, he just went fucking big. He just went fucking big, and the man is not afraid to go all out if it mean go all out, even if it is, even when it's I think a lot of mangaka, I think a lot of the times I think in certain respects, certain mangaka will definitely play it safe when it comes to the final chapter of the year, but Oda, the man just doesn't give a fuck exactly what time of the year is gonna be. He will go all in. He does not give a fuck what he's gonna. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just gonna say, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you all this epic shit, and leave you with a cliffhanger until next year." Later, guys. It's in a way, this chapter was one of the biggest fuck yous to us as the audience, but I still love it. Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna calm down from my little fangasm now. Hopefully. Whew. Okay. Okay. So now that I've gushed over that, let's move on, shall we? Now, in the end of the chapter, Jinbei does say something interesting, which is he tells everyone to abandon the ship. And honestly, in this situation, I think that's kind of a smart move, because if Big Mom's Prometheus-infused hair is anything to go off of, she could very easily set the ship on. She could very easily set fire to the ship. But in the water, Jinbei has the advantage, and it diverts her attention as well as her fleet's attention away from the ship and focus more towards following them, I suppose. So, in a weird way, by abandoning the ship, they're actually saving it in this situation. And if I had to imagine how this whole escape thing is gonna go down, I imagine Jinbei is gonna pull an impulse down where he calls on some of his shark friends for the Straw Hats to escape on, / try and hold Big Mom at bay. Keyword in there being try, because again, Big Mom at this point, I'm sure, is just pretty much outclasses the Straw Hats. So I'm sure they are gonna do some things to hold her at bay, but overall, I think their attempts are futile. Yeah, again, I keep going back to it, but yeah, how Okay, if it's just for the process of escaping, I can understand. But how are they gonna? I don't know how. I don't know how Odo's gonna write this, where he holds the straw, where he holds where they manage to hold her at bay. But I guess we'll just have to see how exactly the whole escape thing plans out. But like I said, I do kind of imagine that Jinbei is going to call on some of his shark friends in order to get the straw. It's kind of like a platform almost to escape on the water. But yeah, and yeah, but yeah, keyword in there being try to escape because with Big Mom, like holy shit. And so we get a giant. Speaking of Jinbei, we also get a giant plot bomb dropped on us by him. With him basically saying that Oda's inspiration for Carrot's transformation was werewolf lore, and I kind of got that feeling myself when I first saw it. But now, having said that, Jinbei's cryptic words about the Mink tribe dying from exhaustion when used as this form does have me concerned, but intrigued. Because did that mean they only die from exhaustion if they can't control themselves in that form, or that they'll die no matter what? Carrots know what? Because like of course, as we know in this chapter, Carrot did pretty much survive, but she was pretty much exhausted, and she did have a relative amount of control, but she was of course exhausted by the end of it. So I want to assume it's the former over the latter, but like Brooke said, she probably still did she did probably she is probably feeling the after effects, and she did probably shorten her lifespan almost from using that transformation. So, and yeah, I do like how even in the most epic of situations like this, Oda never forgets the one key thing he always does, which everything, like the way Oda writes One Piece a lot of the times, and this is a surprise to no one, but Oda makes sure that everything has a consequence, and he didn't forget that in Carrot's case. Like, yeah, like Carrot definitely probably Carrot survived, but she probably did weaken her lifespan quite a bit by using that form, and and we also do learn that apparently they can actually prevent themselves from transforming by basically covering by basically covering their eyes or preventing themselves from looking at the moon. And looking back, actually, it does actually play into something on I remember reading on I remember reading in the Zoark of how pretty much of how I think there was a point where I think it was Nekomamushi or Inuarashi someone in the Zoark said that every that once every night they pretty much just lock themselves in their doors. I think I remember hearing about that. So yeah, it is kind of so in a way it is turning back to the it is the whole thing of them needing to prevent of them not looking at the sun prevents them from transforming does kind of play back into the Zoark, which again I do like how Oda does connect things like that. uh, yeah, and this also like honestly this whole thing about the granted this whole thing about the this whole thing about the Minx transformation now, like it actually does make me curious to just know like the backstory of this power, like what the life was like for the Minx before they before I guess before they were able to control it, or I wonder if only certain, or actually I imagine not everyone was able to control it. Maybe only certain people like Carrot were able to control it because through proper training or something, and just I guess how Carrot herself was able to gain the control she did because I I want to say it's probably one of those things where it's where we're probably just the basic citizens of where the citizens of Zo probably don't have control of their transformations, but probably like the higher ranking officers and royalty and whatnot have probably over time learned to control that power of transformation. I imagine, but yeah, and okay, I just I do gotta say this much. I love that little argument between Sanji and Beige because honestly, like what I really loved about that little argument conversation between Sanji and Beige is that the truth is neither side of that argument was wrong, but it does look like from this setup that the things Sanji learned from Kamabaka Kingdom by getting those 99 battle recipes or whatnot actually are actually going to save the day here. And I'm just glad to see that the things Sanji learned in his training are actually going to pay off here, because from the moment the time skip started, the one thing I've always been curious about is, in Sanji's case, is when are those battle recipes going to come into play? And here they are going to be used to stop probably the biggest glutton in the world. I mean, I mean, in Beige's kind of silent admittance when he basically tastes the whipped cream, that Sanji had made. But by Beige's own admittance, it very well could stop Big Mom, but biggest glutton in the world. And Big Mom being the biggest glutton in the world, even bigger than Luffy, you can imagine it is probably definitely going to have an effect on her. And like the one thing I really like, okay, I love it in general that one of these 99 recipes is coming into play, but what is really unique about this is that Oda has done this in a way where he manages to, he's created a scenario where of course it plays into the year of Sanji and whatnot, but he's created a situation where Sanji's cooking, not necessarily his fighting abilities, but Sanji's cooking is what can actually be used in this fight, for instance. So it's almost like Oda is taking notes from I want to say Food Wars or freaking Toriko or something, but it's like I don't want to say that because I think it is still Oda's own vision, but it's like Oda has this magic to him that he can incorporate these little things that might not seem consequential to us, at the time, but he managed to incorporate them in a way where, yes, it works here. But yeah, like I don't know. I guess I'm just really gushing over this last chapter, but yeah, I'm really glad to see that it's not just that Sanji's cooking is what's saving the day here, and I guess it was also building up to it as well. Now, granted, the way this whole thing is being set up with them delivering the cake, it looks like it's being set up where I imagine Sanji might have to craft a cover story as to why the cake is on Beige's ship. Although looking back on the situation, I don't know if that's going to be all that much of an. That's what I initially thought, but actually looking back on this situation and how this chapter ended, I wonder if the Big Mom pirates are going to be more focused on trying to keep Big Mom calm rather than actually about whether or not Beige is going to be a threat at this point. So like, yeah. And the only way I can see them getting, but if it does come to that situation where Sanji still does have to craft a cover story in order to actually feed the cake to Big Mom, then I imagine then I can see them getting over that little issue of trust by Beige and his crew going into hiding while Sanji talking about how he commandeered his ship or something like that. I'm kind of picturing that in my head almost, because if you think about it, the only reason as to why Sanji himself is considered an enemy right now is because of the only reason Sanji's considered an enemy right now is because he was part of the failed assassination attempt on the Vinsmokes. But that's it. Like I think in this case I think they would be willing to squash the. I think the Big Mom pirates would be willing to squash the whole hit on the Vinsmoke family by, if it means helping out, if it means saving Big Mom. So yeah. But yeah, guys, that's my review. That's my review of One Piece chapter 889, the last chapter of the year, and like I said, You went out on a fucking bang. You went out on a fucking bang, Oda, and props to you. But, yep. But yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.